Next week, the legislature is scheduled to hear a bill that would turn Montana into a right-to-work state, a move bitterly opposed by labor unions. But as MTN's Mike Dennison reports, it's one of several bills before the legislature that would make it harder for unions to collect dues or fees from members and non-members alike.
First, let's talk about the term right to work and what it means. Essentially, most right-to-work laws say any union that bargains a contract for a group of workers cannot charge any dues or fees to workers within that group who don't want to join the union. Representative Caleb Hinkle of Belgrade, a Republican, is sponsoring the main right-to-work bill, which is scheduled for its first hearing next week.
I don't view it as anti-union at all. No union that provides legitimate benefits should have to fear workers having a choice on whether to take those benefits unless that member wants to join that union and pay those fees. All this does is give them that choice.
At least two other related measures making it harder for labor unions to collect dues from workers also are before the session. One of them, Senate Bill 89, would prohibit any government employer from allowing a payroll checkoff to collect dues from union members. The sponsor, Republican Senator Keith Regier of Kalispell, says the government shouldn't be involved in collecting dues for groups actively involved in partisan politics. But union reps say dues money does not support a union's political activity, and that government employers allow all kinds of payroll checkoffs.
It's amazing to me that it's still okay for the state government and public employers to collect contributions to the National Rifle Association, but they're going to say it's not appropriate for a worker to be able to sign an agreement and have their dues deducted and sent to their union.
Union officials also say the right-to-work bill is clearly meant to undermine organized labor by allowing workers to benefit from union contracts but not support the union financially. That's not a good thing for the state, they say.
Success of unions and the size of unions historically in every economic measure goes hand in hand with the success and the size of the middle class.
Hinkle says companies want to relocate or expand in right-to-work states, meaning better economic outcomes for Montana in the future. In the past, bills like these have failed in Montana. But with big Republican majorities and a GOP governor, supporters hope the politics are different this time around. Curtis, the president of Montana's largest union, says she'd like to know what Governor Gianforte thinks of these efforts. Whenever we've asked the governor about right to work, he said only that it's not one of his priorities for now. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
None of these bills has had a debate or vote yet on the floor of the House or the Senate. Supporters and opponents of the right-to-work laws often present dueling studies showing the alleged impacts of wages and business activity in the state or without such laws. MTN News had an early look at a unique study just released this week. The study by the Illinois Economic Policy Institute examined 20 different factors over a period of 8 years that measured the overall quality of life and civic engagement in both right-to-work and non-right-to-work states. It found that right-to-work states, as a group, scored lower in every category on everything from life expectancy to poverty rates to consumer debt. It also said Montana fared far better than right-to-work states in 15 of the 20 categories. Representative Caleb Hinkle of Belgrade, who's sponsoring the bill to enact right-to-work laws in Montana, says he's seen multiple studies that show that they lead to higher wages and more jobs. But a co-author of the Illinois study told MTN News it also shows that frontline workers during the pandemic fare particularly better in states with strong union representation.
Unless the lawmakers in Montana think that teachers, police officers, firefighters, and nurses are overpaid, we should be seeking out ways to support these frontline workers, while the evidence, of course, suggests that right-to-work laws have the opposite effect.
House Bill 251 is scheduled for its first hearing on February 16th before the House Business and Labor Committee.